Good morning, afternoon, and evening. Welcome back to the Liberal Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Bodio, and with me I have Kaylie Horowitz.
Hello.
And Andy Gibby Gibson.
Ba-dum. 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 Ba-dum.
So it's summer. Kaylee has a... That's very fun. Kaylee has a stuffed
We're going to
shark.
get the visual medium joke out of the way. If you have a Blahaj plushie from IKEA, now is the time to go cuddle up to your very own land shark.
So it's very summer.
Mm-hmm.
I have questions.
Yes.
About summer, and I recently learned the phrase gooner bait.
Oh.
This isn't the direction I anticipated this to go.
Why is this about summer?
Yeah. I want to show y'all. This is not a visual medium, but I want to show y'all some pictures.
Get to Google, kids.
I keep up with a couple video games, notably for this situation, Street Fighter 6 and Marvel Rivals. I enjoy both of those video games. They just released their summer outfits. For my friends, I am going to share a couple images. So here's Cammy's Street Fighter 6 summer outfit.
I'm sure it'll be a sensible outfit.
Totally wholesome.
It's not.
And for Marvel Rivals, it's what character is this?
Probably
Luna Snow's summer outfit. The continent of Asia has, I assume, recently gotten an obsession with fat asses.
They finally come to the table.
Yeah, like welcome to the club. I don't know how these games are rated T.
Yeah.
And if you're looking up these images, dear listener, I hope you're not at work. I hope other people can't see your phone. And they dropped these. They dropped these arts, and I'm like, is this allowed?
How much
can we do this?
How many bad choices do you have to make if, for one, you're listening to us at work? Like, how are you going to explain to somebody the shit that we get up to? Two, you willingly get out your phone, assumedly without safe search on, and start looking up the swimsuit edition of your favorite shooting or fighting game. Like, these are choices that we cannot be held completely accountable for.
You're an adult.
Oh, no, he's hot.
I don't know. Like, I've been so used to, 20, 30 years of some of these characters wearing completely nonsensical outfits, like, as is, that it just doesn't even impact me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm the same. And I'm finally of the age where I'm like, man, it's just different from when I was a kid. Right? Like, people are using hard curse words in PG-13 movies now, which I'm like, yeah, whatever. And it's like, I don't have kids myself, but I do have nieces and nephews, and I'm not like hide sex from them.
No.
But I am like, spoon feed it, man. We don't have to go like, hey, man, you're 5 years old, you can play video games now. Here's Cammy's whole ass.
Right.
Hey,
everything out.
It's a very tactical leotard that's been supplied by the British SAS.
Tactical leotard. Tactile tard.
I don't think so.
No.
What?
I don't know. Like I still think about who exactly is buying the swimsuit edition of the Marvel characters every summer, because that shit's been going on for decades.
I think you just answered your own question.
I guess, but it's just like, are there nerds out there that don't know the internet exists?
Right.
You can find boobs for free, my guy.
That's what I'm saying. There's pornography
of those characters.
Of those characters. We'll see how much longer it's legal, but like, if you need it that bad, it's there for you.
Don't let Blizzard gaslight you. Remember what they took from you.
I remember I was on a Baldur's Gate 3.
You could play Overwatch for free and find porn of it.
I remember I was on a Baldur's Gate 3 subreddit, and some dude posted about his girlfriend breaking up with him
Oh.
because he had nudie mods on his Baldur's Gate 3, and people were like, "Why did you have mods to make all your characters naked?" And he's like, "Whatever, I'm just passively horny that way, so I don't need to be judged." It's like, what does passively horny mean?
I think that means sex addiction without wanting to admit anything about yourself.
Unfortunately,
That game's horny already. You can fuck a squid,
Right.
and a bear.
like, you don't have to download mods. You can just be naked in that
You
game.
can just be naked.
So what
Fuck the
that
bear.
leads me to believe is that, like, not only was this man so horny and like porn brained that all of the characters were naked around camp or whatever, but then he probably went and downloaded like crazy hentai mods to give somebody like a size gajillion ass or something, and it's just like,
There are a lot of
no, it's very important to the Shadowheart lore, I swear.
She has to have triple G's. I swear. It makes
Two
her a character.
extremes that I have seen of the male experience playing Baldur's Gate is either that is that kind of level or behavior, or the one red pillar who got so pissed about woke blah, 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 and Astarion's ass that they made a mod that was like de-woking Baldur's Gate 3 and flattening Astarion's ass.
I have seen that. I have seen the mods where people are like, the guys are too jacked, which I'm like, huh? So they
right, what?
yeah, so they flattened Astarion's ass. They get rid of Gale, Astarion, and Will's six packs. I'm like, what are you hoping to accomplish here?
Like musculature, you want to talk about body image, that's one thing, but for you to come in and be like, the men can't have cake anymore. Like, dude,
fucking do a squat, loser.
right.
I don't know. I've seen those like de-woking Baldur's Gate 3.
And
I'm
they just
like,
make Will a white guy.
there's
You're
that.
Like, uh-oh.
Yep, they take away like any mention of gay people, and I'm just like, this is the shittiest possible version of Lord of the Rings, man.
Right.
Yeah, that's
like
not
even
fun.
Lord of the Rings is more fun and queer than this, you idiot.
Yeah,
And that's the alt-right pipeline in nerdom. Fuck you.
What's wild in a game as expansive as Baldur's Gate 3, if you don't want to interact with that stuff, you don't
Right.
have to.
That's
just
the beauty
ignore
of
it.
choice.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Like there's a trans
everything.
character. There's a trans character in there that I never even met, just because I didn't go talk to the NPC.
Mhm.
Gibby couldn't end up with the hottest character in the game because he sucks.
No.
I went back and played it again. I got better.
It
It locked me out of the romance after the goblin camp. And
You found her too late.
We learned from our mistakes and we went back and did better.
No, he didn't.
Oh, Gibby.
He just committed.
Yes, I did several times with different characters. And I'll have you know this. But when I downloaded the game, I was not aware that there were sex scenes in it. And I was just
Yeah,
like,
me neither. Me
Well, this
neither.
is taking
I'll be
a
straight
turn.
up. It's a weird thing. It's not a weird thing. It's the cool / do we have to go this far thing that a lot of European RPGs have been doing.
Yeah.
Where you can pick your character's genitalia, character creation. So which I'm like, sweet, man. I wasn't expecting to see full frontal dick or full frontal vagina when I was in my character creator.
Oh, hell
I'm
yeah.
never
Let's
quite
go.
ready
Let's
for it.
go.
that is
I
probably
mean,
the most
hell yeah.
the most D&D thing where it's just like, we know what you fucking bards are up to.
How big is my dick? Please. I need to visualize for science, for my character sheet.
Cyberpunk 2077, I think, has a dick slider. Where you go like, weep.
They already did
Saint-
it better in Saints Row.
It's funnier in Saints Row.
Mm-hmm.
It's less in depth than Cyberpunk. Dude, when I was playing Cyberpunk 2077, because I played it on release when it barely functioned.
Which I'm still like astounded that you made that choice.
I was on PC, so it wasn't that bad. Like I could still play the game. On
Sure.
console, it was unplayable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they
I
wouldn't let you
did
pick
have
your dick size on console.
The
Got him.
bastards.
No, the opposite. In fact, I was I had at
You
this
could
point
only
I had
have
gone,
a dick if you were on console.
at this point I was at my mom's house because I was in between I was in between apartments at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm playing at my PC on my mom's living room table.
No.
And the game glitched out and my pants didn't load in.
Uh-oh.
So I'm playing the game, look down, and I'm full dick out. I'm like, ah! My mom's like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing!
Nothing. Don't look.
It's like one of those bad dreams, but even worse.
Is that worse than like the stereotypical scene where it's like parent barges into your room when you know you're a teenager
like,
jorking it versus like I didn't mean for this. Like it's the meme where it's the like, oh, this anime that I'm watching normally when my mom walks in, and then it's like the one sexualized like fan service frame or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Where
Somehow,
it's not like,
some way.
I didn't know this would happen. Look away, please.
I have two quick anecdotes that are both safe for work, but are
Oh.
still embarrassing.
The rest of this hasn't been, so if you are listening to this at work, what the fuck are you doing?
Why are you on speaker? Put on headphones.
Turn that shit all the way up, baby.
It's too
Don't
late to go
do
back
that.
in time, but
Let
like,
all
what
the
are you
cubicles
doing?
know.
Tell
But
your stories, Gibby.
one was when I was maybe 16 and I was watching King of the Hill YouTube poop. And my mom walks in and she's like, no, you don't have to turn it off. And I was just like, yeah, but I should. Because how the fuck do I explain to you that a Microsoft Paint version of Waluigi just popped up on the screen for some reason? And the other was I was watching through Castlevania for the first time, and there was an intense action scene with all the vampires, and there was something about the way that one of them was running that she just passes by the TV and like mimics what the vampire is doing, and I'm like, you don't get it, it's a great dramatic show, and she's just like, yeah. I was just like, you don't understand my vampire show, Mom.
It's playing Bloody Tears. Leave me alone.
It's actually very complex right before it switches to like thus. I almost said the Astarian, the Alucard three-way.
Same difference.
No, I feel like that kind of shit though is where I had not like the beginnings, because I'm sure that began earlier, but a core memory part of my trust issues when it comes to like the impulse of I have to stop what I'm watching on YouTube or something like that if somebody else enters this room. Was exactly, it wasn't for like, oh, this is porn or this is anything like actually salacious, but this is some weird ass YouTube poop source filmmaker looking shit that I can't let this go on because I fear you're just going to judge my mental state. One, if I try to explain why it's funny or what's happening, or two, you're just gonna look at a screenshot and go, this is disturbing, and I will go, yeah, don't judge me.
That happened once at youth group. The first time that our new like youth pastor came to meet all of us, we were huddled around a computer watching a source filmmaker video, and I think he started praying harder for us. He was just like, there's a lot of work to do with these boys, I see.
Last anecdote, and then we can get to the topic. I had this situation at my first job. I worked at a car shop and in supply chain, and I had it was a video of Terry Crews edited to like a Mario 64 song, like the power.
I was about to say, was this the age of the Old Spice commercial edits?
Yes, yeah, that's Old Spice Terry Crews. And I had found a long version. My boss walked in and he asked, "Are you still listening to that?" And I look at the clock, and he had been gone for 3 hours, and I just didn't stop listening.
Oh no!
Oh, it's
I was
that
like,
kind. It was that long.
Yeah, it's like one of those. It's like, oh, am I neurodivergent? Yeah, probably.
Oh.
Is it too late to retract an offer?
Yes.
I think I've learned something about myself today.
I definitely learned something about myself that day. I also learned about Jaws this week. I've really enjoyed this like summer of classics. We kind of stumbled on an accident because we've done like Cowboy Bebop, Thelma and Louise, and now Jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been on a good streak here.
Yeah, man. So Jaws turned 50 this month, last month.
Wow.
Like end of June. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the last couple weeks, Jaws turned 50 whole years old.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to. We're a media podcast, and how would we not be media podcasters if we didn't talk about that one thing everybody's already spoken about? So
The horse is dead. The horse is deep in the ground. We're digging a hole, and we're gonna keep beating it down further.
hell yeah. I'm gonna start a debate that Gibby and I have had in the past. So I this was my first time actually watching Jaws ever.
Same, actually.
Yeah.
What?
That's crazy.
I know.
You're the film boy. BOITM.
I lied on my resume. Sue me.
Got him. That's how you get jobs these days.
Yep.
But the debate Gibby and I have had are thrillers a type of movie? I'm on the side of no. Gibby's on the side of yes. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, oh, this is probably like under the thriller category.
Mhm.
And I disagree. I think what's interesting about Jaws is that it's a horror movie that doesn't want to be too scary,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
It definitely like uses aspects of horror, but it never dives too deep into it. And that's why I think we try to call it something different. Thoughts?
I think the reason like I wouldn't classify it as a horror movie is because usually a horror movie has some like underlying like theme message. Like I know that like a fear of the water is a primal fear for humanity. I know that it's like so deeply ingrained in all of us, but I don't think that like this is like something that necessarily represents like the anxiety of the time, which is how I usually like quantify horror movies. Like you see trends in horror because there's something that everybody is worried about at the time. And Jaws is more of a thing that inspired a fear rather than like was built off of like a large trend with it, which is why I lean more. Yes, there are horror elements to this, but I think action thriller, in a weird way, maybe just action would be like the way that I could quantify it.
I would agree with action. I think the difference between something like Jaws and something that's like a more traditional horror. Number one, especially in American media, horror is like demons and fake shit, you know?
Yeah.
Great white sharks though are nothing like Jaws, but they are a real thing. But the main difference I noticed is Jaws still has heroes, which traditional horror movies don't. Traditional horror movies have victims and survivors. You know, I don't know if it looks like Kaylie doesn't agree with me when I say that.
I've been given some reference material by everyone's favorite, hardly on pod, but always present because I mentioned them, horror scholar Ian Downs.
Yes. We're about to get schooled, aren't we?
Why Horror Seduces by Matthias Klassen. He has a section about Jaws, and again, as somebody who is talking about a variety of things, academic text, but the back of this is from vampire apocalypses, shark attacks, witches, and ghosts. horror has been a part of the American cinematic imagination. So treating, like in this text, looking at it like a horror movie, already a little biased. But part of that comes from thinking, like, kind of to the point of Bo's, like, fear of water. There's a primal fear to tap into when you're talking about a big giant predator. It has disastrous consequences for its victims. There's an innate survival instinct that triggers kind of fight or flight. That a lot of horror does tend to do that. You know, big scary knife, big scary monster, whatever that is. Jaws leans into that, but I think to your point, I agree that like Brody and Hooper definitely give hero by the end, but they kind of are just also survivors at the end of this movie. There's no big heroes welcome. We're not talking about the sequels. Fuck those for now.
Those don't exist.
No. We're ignoring those in the canon. Just the one movie.
One movie.
They made Jaws roar like a fucking lion in Jaws 4, man.
This was Sharknado before they put the tornado in the shark. Look, Bo gave me. Sorry.
I didn't know that about Sharknado. Keep going.
I mean, the idea that they were like, hey, this made so much money, let's keep doing this.
Right.
Scary monster movie over and over again. But, you know, part of, to everyone's point, why is Jaws scary? It's the suspense and it's the uncertainty factor. Which horror movies do a lot. We don't get the gore and bloodbath constantly. We get it in the moments that it matters. But you know, not thinking of like a Night of the Living Dead or a zombie or a slasher, like things where it's like, this is a blood and guts fest. Evil Dead. This is just carnage for the sake of carnage.
Pre-Evil Dead, pre-Saw.
Yeah, this is the kind of horror movie that's like, we get very disturbing images, but we are constantly in a state of suspense of the Hitchcock. All right, when's the shoe gonna drop? When is the bomb gonna go off? Sort of thing. Like the scene at the beach on the 4th of July. You know it's coming. When?
And that's why I said, like, I agree. And that's why I think it's like light horror, right?
Yeah.
Because again, it's not like violent, and it's not like, I don't want to say fantasy monsters because people do believe in devils and demons, whatever. But it just sucks to watch people suffer and be freaked out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. So you see people get it. The first shark attack is the girl on the beach, and it's just like a minute of her saying, "I don't want to die," over and over again.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary. Right. It's just really uncomfortable.
And extremely like iconic John Williams music for increasing that tension. I thought you were just saying but yeah, it's interesting like that there aren't necessarily the long stretches of tension that go on like you feel in a lot of horror movies. There's a lot of time to breathe between shark attacks.
It tricks you almost.
Yeah. Think about between the scene where it's at night and they're checking out the old wreckage of the guy that just got ate and his head pops out in the boat and everything. Between that and the 4th of July, there's a lot of runtime. Like
20 minutes.
This is not like sustained, like exact tension throughout the entire like beat to beat. Like in a horror movie, sure, there may be like a scene to like catch your breath or something, but there's so much time where people are talking, characters are developing, conflicts are rising, that it's like you almost forget about the shark for a second. And then they bring it in when it's going to have the most impact again.
Sure.
Which I don't know if it goes for my argument that Jaws might not be a horror movie, because that does kind of sound like horror. But
sounds a lot like a horror movie.
It's I keep looking at Jaws as like it's a mule. It's a crossbreed. It's a crossbreed between like the action movie like hero quest kind of a film. Like, again, without calling it a thriller, because I feel like that in the horror is the, well, which side of the coin are you on? But a crossbreed between that and a horror movie.
Yeah.
Because, and here's where I fear I'm going to get a little rambly, but
I'll stop you. I promise.
Looking at this movie as kind of an allegory of things. And you know what? Knowing how botched and tedious this writing and production process was, I feel like I could spitball this as purely a lens of something interpretation rather than a full directorial intent by Mr. Spielberg. I'm sure there's things in here that are obviously intentional, but overall I'm like, was this what you were thinking in 1975? Because I would love to know. A lot of people always say the Quint's Indianapolis speech is like the heart of the movie. That's the point, is talking through this terrible thing. We were sent out to do this, and we did it, but ultimately at the cost of what horror, not just of the action that we did, but literally we got sunk by Japanese subs and suffered more inhumane tragedy. The way Jaws starts puts us in a really frustrating tension bind between Brody trying to do his job as chief of police and the mayor and leadership of the town saying, no, fuck you, we need to make money.
Yeah.
Even to the point where they refuse to close the beach and then let him take the fall for was it Austin Kickner?
Alex Kickner.
Alex Kickner. Like he gets literally slapped in the face by that kid's mom. No, like when she finds out that he didn't close the beach, even though we see him try to, and he is stopped. Like it builds and builds in this way of you're seeing him trying to fight against the system, and he's constantly being kicked out of being allowed to do his job to protect people. Because even on the 4th of July, all right, you got your tourism money, you got everybody here, and Mayor Jackass encourages people to go in the water. Like, and that's where I'm like, you've already made your money. You have people here. They're on the beach. They're having a good time. And you're encouraging them to go out in the water and endanger themselves.
Yeah, but it's about appearances.
Exactly. And so then once the shark strikes again in the pond at that moment, then now that everybody has seen it, it becomes the monster hunt. It becomes and now we're going to go fight this thing.
Once you can't hide it anymore.
Right. And so literally it's turning into that, like, that's when we make it a horror movie, because then we put them out on the boat. We put them in an isolated situation and they're trying just to survive. But the fucking villains of this movie are the mayor and the fucking real estate, like, jackwipes that cross the bridge with Brody in the first 10 minutes and bribe a medical examiner to change the autopsy report.
Yeah. I would actually argue it's the opposite. Where when they're keep going. Sorry.
No, I'm just like to cap it back to what I need to on the Indianapolis thing.
Go for it.
It's the here's the World War II story. That movie kind of turns into an allegory of that. We have the big problem, or we have like a little problem that is spilled over that everyone then becomes witness to, and now we have to make somebody else out to be the bad guy when we've also committed atrocity. But look at this big thing. That was the thing that we had to get rid of. We had to do it. That song and dance. Case in point, go.
I would argue it's the opposite. Like the first third, because they finally get on the boat with, I forget his name, Cat and Ahab, motherfucker.
Quint.
Quint.
Mr. Quint.
Mr. Quint. They finally get once they finally get on the boat, Mr. Quint, and it's just the three of them. That's when they kind of become badasses and become heroes.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we have miniguns and harpoon guns and these tanks that are gonna explode. All of these are Chekhov's guns. You worry about them in about an hour. But before that, when they are in the unknown, they don't know when the shark's gonna attack. Is the shark gonna attack? No, that's an old lady coming up for air. Is it a shark attack again? No, those are little kids. Okay, this time munch, right? I felt more tense in those moments than I did when they're on the boat, Because when on the
Sure.
boat, they're like three badasses who are fighting the shark the entire time. Yeah, they're in danger, but they're never. It never feels like they're outclassed. Like even when the boat
Yeah.
gets shattered and they're like suffering, it's smile, you son of a bitch, and then it blows his fucking head off.
No,
They're-
you're waiting for it there. That's the final encounter.
They're competent and they're prepared. I mean, Brody is out of his element and he's uncomfortable in the water. Hooper is the academic as well as, you know, the rich kid who's like got all the toys and knows what to do, but also doesn't have like the experience. And Quint is Quint. You know.
Quint is Quint.
Quint is Quint. He's a badass.
Go ahead, finish your thoughts.
Versus like when you're back on the mainland and at the beach, those are innocents that like don't know how to protect themselves, what to do. You see that in like the crowd crush segment on the 4th of July when like everybody is rushing back in, people are getting stomped on, like it turns into like a wild herd of gazelles in the Lion King. Like I think that's where you're going, and that's kind of the difference of just like characters that are prepared and can steel themselves versus the just I don't know what to do. Somebody shouted shark, run to the beach.
Right. I changing the subject a little bit. Hooper's a weird character to me. Because we'll call it I think this is a 3-act, but I can't see where the acts change. Usually I can like track that, but I wasn't looking for it in this movie. I was just enjoying it.
Yeah.
On land, let's say on the island, Hooper seemed like very rational and like a good dude, but like the very beginning of them being on the boat, Hooper and Quint tension is like, did Hooper had a weird heel turn? It felt like that didn't quite feel justified to me.
I think there's tension in it because like Quint recognizes Hooper's inexperience, and that plays to like Hooper's insecurities about this.
Yeah.
Like Hooper doesn't seem to get respect from anybody but Brody in a lot of cases, and Mrs. Brody, to be fair. I mean, he's got all this experience. He knows everything that he's doing, but he's disrespected by the fishermen, the mayor, and then by Quint. Like, so eventually that blows up, you know, and then you put them in a pressure cooker of a situation.
Yeah.
Like they're getting hurt, they're getting like sunburnt. I think at least that's where I get it from, where it's just like things are about to get really bad. Tensions are already high as is, and we're squabbling with each other.
Yeah. It's one of those things to critique the movie a little bit. It's one of those things I wish they had said, as opposed to like Spielberg's like a people person. He likes the things that go unsaid. And sometimes it's fucking masterful. Like my favorite scene is the scene when the kid's mother shows up and she slaps Brody in the face, and it's like she's not saying this, she believes this stuff, but she just wants him to feel bad.
Yeah.
Right. And if the mayor wasn't a chicken shit, he would step in and say, no, it's my fault. But he let that entire thing play, and then he said, hey, she doesn't mean that. Like, I've lived through that. That guy's a bad leader. Brody's a good leader because he knows he just has to take it in this situation. That scene, cinema.
It really is.
Cinema.
What I love about that is we as the audience know Brody wanted to shut the beach down.
Right.
But there's still a little bit where Mrs. Kittner's right, because he didn't shut the beach down. He like followed his orders from the superior officer, but he could have like there was still that chance that like he could have shut down the beach anyway, or at least made the effort to. But
made more of an effort to.
Yes, exactly. But it's also her own fault in a little way as well. She would have never known that there was a rogue shark out there, but it's her own grief knowing she told her kid, okay, 10 more minutes, and he goes out on the raft. I think that's partly like her own like internalized guilt in there too. And because of all those factors going on, that's what makes it so realistic. Like you were saying, like we've all been in a situation like that before where it's like, no, it's not this person's fault, but somebody's got to take the heat from somebody who's going through something.
Yeah. I'm hurting and I want somebody else to hurt too. So
And I
I'm just
like
going
that-
to hurt you.
I love that that's his like big call to action. Like we saw
Yeah.
like the warnings and everything, and I like that like from the jump, he's like, fuck this shit. Shut the beaches down. But that's where he decides to forget about the authorities and to like basically use his rank and his position to be like, you need to pay the crazy sailor, Mr. Mayor.
Well,
Fucking get the cheese. I'm going to go with this nerd. We're going to cut open a shark. We're going to go out. I'm drunk, probably. You see that glass of wine that I just had? That was not a tiny glass of wine I just had. It's time for me to go be a badass.
Like, that's the thing, though. Like, he like, you know, Chrissy's death is the inciting incident of this, where it's like, oh, God. Also, I was like, oh, no, not another Chrissy. I'm like,
Chrissy, I don't like this.
yeah, exactly. I know this was the 70s and that was the 80s, but yikes. But we have that one death already that's a travesty to look at. Like, the remains of that make everyone sick seeing what's left. Then the child, the second one, where it is that, like, all right, now he's catching heat for this. And is still trying to do something, is trying to push for it. He's sent out the call for someone from the Oceanic Institute and the fishermen, but they won't, like, they have a small meeting behind closed doors with a few people, and the mayor undermines him when he says, yes, we are going to have to close the beach for 24 hours.
What?
Bitch, we didn't agree to that.
Right.
Like, and then goes, oh, but look, they found a shark. That's got to be it. That's right. Fine. Sure. Total. Like, again, it is not until suddenly now everyone has not only seen this, but also Brody's son was almost in the crossfire. Like, that is then finally when Brody's like, no, you shut the fuck up and sit down. We are giving this crazy fisherman whatever he wants to go get that shark. And even then, the mayor is trying to weasel out of it, going, but my kids were also at that beach. Like,
But like,
it's this, like, how is this movie 50 years old? It's still so fucking timely, Steven.
yeah.
How?
I think it's interesting, and we'll actually go into what you just said, because the tropes that are in this movie, probably I am curious as to if they were tropes at the time. Because part of that is, yes, the corrupt small town politician versus the big city educated folks who want to solve the problem.
Yeah.
But I found what was very interesting, early on, we talked about the lady whose son died. I'm not as good with names as you guys are.
Okay, so I'll tell you the story of why I can always remember Alex Kittner later, but
Is it because of the sandwich?
yes, you know the sandwich story. That'll be the stinger. We'll talk about it later.
Got his ass.
Continue.
Oh,
continue
no,
your
he's
thought.
frozen in fear.
The rug
Discord
has
is
been
wild.
pulled out from under me.
But what was interesting, I'll have to rewatch the movie to see if this is true. When they announce that the beach is closing, they said, yeah, for 24 hours. I think it's Mrs. Kitchener who's like, 24 hours? That's like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's like 3 weeks. Or no, it's not Mrs. Kitchener, but it's the other
somebody
woman.
in the crowd says it.
Yeah.
She's like curly brunette hair, but yeah.
Because this is after like Alex Kittner's been eaten.
That's
Yes,
after.
this is
okay.
right
I'm getting my
after, yeah.
sequence of
They
events.
just look similar haircuts and everything.
But she's, what is it, Harold? He's like one of the other guys that's already like judgmental of Brody. And also, that's the other thing. Everybody keeps bombarding the chief of police with their whiny ass, pedantic little old white people problems. And they're like, you have to fix this right now.
I think that's to establish how unprepared the general populace is for this, right? Because it's really trying to accent this guy's from New York. He knows what he's doing, and this is a small town with no real issues. Because there's even the side conversation with Mrs. Brody where she's talking to some folks on the beach. And it's like, we've been here for 3 years. when are we officially
Yeah.
Islanders? And the person's like, never. You have to be born here. Which
No,
is
and that's
hilarious to hear a bunch of white people say.
But that's
it's
her.
also
That's the same woman who's
Yeah.
doing the like. That's gonna be 3 weeks for us.
Yeah.
God, I just thought of something that rocked me to my core.
Oh,
Hmm.
Why is this movie such a good allegory or like parallel to how America reacted to COVID?
Because tropes exist for a reason.
And
And people haven't changed as much as we like to think they have.
Yeah, I mean, because like the frustrating tension of this movie is not like there is a shark in the water and it will kill you. The frustration stems from, well, we can't sacrifice a brief period of enjoyment, so we should go risk everything because we don't want to give up this convenience that we have for ourselves and this entertainment. So we're going to put an entire community at risk. And I know that thought isn't like new to COVID. We've had a few plagues in our history, folks. But it just feels like it's like, guys, just don't go to the beach for a while and it'll probably be okay.
It is summer in New England. There are so many other things that you could be doing right now.
Or go to another fucking beach. Go to the other side of the island. You're on an island.
Economy. But the economy. Well, the economy. It's just
Richard
so...
Nixon, is that you?
Whoa.
I am not a shark.
Good radio.
I don't know. That's just so funny that it feels so similar. And the same can be said of like a lot of movies that are like, but we can't give up this thing. Who cares that something terrible is happening?
Yes, you can, you privileged motherfuckers.
What do you mean there's consequences for my actions?
What do you mean there are bigger problems in the world than my little tiny world of things?
So, speaking of realism, there was something that I wanted to bring up. It shocked me the first time that I watched this movie how natural the dialogue feels.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching through, and I think it's the scenes where Chief Brody's just talking to people, especially his family, that I was just like, these are just normal people. These aren't movie characters.
We should have more movies where people talk over each other, because that's how people talk in real life.
Yes.
Motherfuckers say 3 or 4 things at the same time, and it's okay.
Yeah. Like, not only that, like, it feels just like a normal conversation. Like, you're a fly on the wall. Like, the first, like, conversation that Chief Brody and Ellen have. Like, all of their dialogue feels normal. Like, it doesn't feel like stock characters. Like
No.
Be safe, honey. I shall await your return, for I am your dainty wife. Like, she feels like a normal person. The only moment where we, like, get any sort of that, like, come home to me after your great adventure, Odysseus, is, like, when she's taking him to the dock and realizes, oh, this actually is fucked up, which...
But that's preceded with her being like, I put extra glasses in your socks, and here's your nitrous oxide so you can breathe cool. It's like, okay, man.
But like the first lines with her and Brody, where it's like, it's the yad, and then they riffs on it.
Yeah.
It's like, the yad that's near the cat, and like that's just me and Ian, like riffing with each other.
When Mrs. Brody, it's when Brody is sad and Mrs. Brody comes in with a drink. She's like, "You want to get drunk and fool around later?"
I love that.
I want that relationship.
It's so
I was
funny.
watching this. Ian deadass looked at me. He's like, "Why don't you say that to me more?" I'm like, "Shit, you're right. I should."
Like, that's all I want in life. I want somebody cool who's kind of pretty. Who's like, "Hey, do you want to get drunk and fool around in like an
is
hour?"
already pouring themselves a glass.
It's like, yes, ma'am, I do.
Mrs. Brody, are you trying to have a third kid all of a sudden?
If she wants, Mrs. Brody can get it.
You know?
I love that in Jaws 4, she's the protagonist.
Is she really?
She really is.
That good for her.
Good for her. Anyways, I with like the scummy politician, feels like a used car salesman. Love it. The nerd that gets really into the Latin and the scientific names for things, adore that. as
Yep.
well as just like the salty sea dog. Oh my god. I
Yes.
love when Quint and Hooper are comparing scars and they're trying to like one
But
up
that's
each
like
other.
shit dudes do.
And then they
Like,
start laughing about it at
and
the
then
end.
they're homies.
Yeah, it's so funny. And I love that, like, despite the fact that the Indianapolis monologue is incredibly dramatic, it's kind of like, yeah, boys out of nowhere, like, trauma dump and, like, share the deep, dark lore after you've
What
been
we do.
having a laugh. And he was just like, oh, well, I thought the story was funny, and everybody else is going to have to go to therapy. And by therapy, I mean drinking, because it was the 1970s.
And then you sing
boy.
sea shanties. Because it's like,
Yeah.
all right, we beefed, we shared stories, and now we're drinking. We're homies now.
And then the shark tactically
over.
rams your boat to try to make it
And then-
take on water like it's fucking Sea of Thieves.
And then the shark just knows where your battery is.
Look!
Oh my god.
But yeah, when going again, we've kind of like skirted around it, but going into
Yeah.
the tropes, it's just interesting to see how many are in here, and I wonder if they were already tropes by the time this came out. Like we said, I mean, some of them obviously were, like the obviously Quint is Captain Ahab.
Yeah.
We have the nerd, we have the cop, we
Which
have the sea captain.
It is so, and it's a sign of the times, but also I'm like, no, but like this was the sweet spot of the kind of nerd that Hooper is.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, there's this kind of general dunking on nobody wants to listen to you. No one wants to listen to you, smarty, because you're weird compared to all the rest of us here who know what we're doing.
Hey, this
But,
guy
like-
reads books. Fuck this
Right.
guy.
But he's not awkward. He's not like I mean
He's
a little-
competent.
he's nerdy about sharks, but he's not like an awkward, exactly incompetent person.
Mhm.
He's very sarcastic.
He has a special
He's-
interest,
He's
okay?
like fast.
Exactly. Versus like nerds currently, it's that like we went through a pro nerd phase that has now unfortunately pushed it too far and turned them into fucking super villains trying to buy their way into being cool. Where
Well, that's
I'm like,
because
no,
that's
no,
real life,
no.
Kaylee.
Exactly. But this is the sweet spot of the like, no. Like again, people who are smart, I believe, need to be humbled. I know too many people in academia where it's this like, oh my God, do you listen to yourself? Do you hear yourself? And he does get that through Quint. He he gets that comeuppance, but Quint also sees where the new school or whatever like way of doing things or his knowledge is useful. Like there's a give and take there that strengthens both of those characters.
Yeah. And then
Intelligence
Quint's no
versus
like
wisdom.
Right.
Yeah. And Quint's no like good dude. He's like
No.
slagging women and being weird when the movies or when he
Even
first gets introduced. But
Brody's like, you're crazy. Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
didn't-
am.
I didn't know the scratching the chalkboard to get everybody's attention. I didn't know that came from Jaws.
There's so
I
many
saw that and I was like,
SpongeBob
your
jokes.
worm.
And then
the Alaskan
also,
bullworm episode is the first
Yeah.
thing I think of with that.
and then also when we talk about tropes, that I'm not sure were already tropes or that they originated here. I know
Yeah.
one thing that originated here. 3 minutes in, tits.
Titties.
Like I'm sitting here watching the opening credits. I'm like, fucking hate the opening credits. Watch the first scene. Okay, a bunch of blonde kids on the beach. Cool. Top off. I'm like, yo, whoa.
Running free in the wind, tits out. That's
The-
how I want to be this summer.
The funny thing is, the first time I started watching this movie, it was on an airplane.
Yeah.
And like none of that happened, and I was just like, huh, that scene was very abrupt. And then I went back and watched like the original version, and I was like,
Oh.
that's why in the opening credits it pops up with like edited for airplane.
Yo, Delta cut out the titties. How dare they?
Delta.
American Airlines, I'm asking you now to free the nipple.
Oh, American
I-
Airlines. Sorry, Delta. Keep
Delta
I
would
did start-
never.
crashing.
I did start like cackling though, realizing it's the same fucking shit from Nosferatu though, where it's like, quick, we gotta put a blue filter on the daylight scene so it looks like nighttime.
Yeah,
Because they do it
that.
there and they do it again when the dudes TM are out on the boat and they're like chasing the shark the first time after it comes back up with the barrel.
Yeah.
You're like, this was just nighttime. Hold on. Oh, I see. To the point where there was something like in the top left. It's like before the second day, like when they're out at sea still. They're like, oh, the shark's gone. We have to wait for him to come back. It's that like this was clearly filmed in the day, but like we've put a filter on this. There's like some weird light streak that happens in like the top left corner. That I'm like, is that a fucking shooting star? Did you put a shooting star in post to make it feel like nighttime?
There were 3 and they had like long red streaks. I was just like, was that an error?
Yeah. And then there's other stuff, right? Like obviously this is a 50-year-old movie.
Yeah.
None of those
with
limbs
no
looked
budget.
real.
They went over budget with no.
Because the shark wouldn't fucking work.
$4 million isn't nothing, but still.
1970s movie is a lot of money. But like none of those limbs looked at all real.
No.
Right? So it's like I had to roll my brain back. Like, nope. This is the first time people have done stuff like this. Relax.
Is the like Spielberg had done work, but this was like the first like big weird thing that he tried. And so they hit a lot of
It's wild that he wouldn't do Jurassic Park for like another 20 years.
Right.
They had to get real good with the CGI first.
They had to practice.
There's not a lot of CG in Jurassic Park.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
There is. They were just really fucking good at it.
Yeah, good for them. Shit.
They got much better at animatronics and CGI.
Yeah.
And they learned through this experience that specialized animatronics don't like salt water.
Yeah. Don't put the robot in the ocean. It's a bad time.
Well, you can because it's not hydraulic. But because it relies on being neutral and buoyant, salt water changes that calibration a lot.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh that somehow, some way, like 15 years later, they still couldn't get that right for the opening of Universal Studios. So the Jaws ride just didn't work for months.
Awesome.
I wonder, so it goes.
I wonder, you guys might have the answer for this because obviously this is a great film.
Yeah.
Is it like I mentioned Jurassic Park a second ago? Is it like Jurassic Park where it's a good film but a bad adaptation? Because Jaws was a book first and Jurassic Park was also a book first, but the movie Jurassic Park and the book Jurassic Park are nothing alike. Is Jaws the same way?
As the resident Jurassic Park fan, I'll chime in just real quick with that.
Okay.
I don't think the book is all that good.
Yeah, which is fair.
So yeah, it's a bad adaptation, but it's a better story because it's a bad adaptation.
For sure.
Kaylie, do you know more about like the Jaws like original book?
Only one teeny bit, which is apparently in the original book. Hooper has an affair with Mrs. Brody.
Hot damn!
All right, Hooper, I see you.
Only because I have another book at my table side.
How many Jaws books do you own?
Several.
I don't have many Jaws books actually. But a year ago, 2 years ago now, oh god, a fantastic new play hit Broadway called The Shark is Broken, which is co-written by Joseph Nixon and Ian Shaw. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. His son.
Whose son?
And who starred in the show playing, and that's the whole thing. Is The Shark is Broken? Is
wait, hold on before you continue. Who's Ian Shaw's father?
Robert Shaw, who plays Quint.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes, sorry. No, this is one of those times where it's like, I'm bad at actor names, but the reason I'm like, I do know these is because in this script, we have Richard Dreyfuss, Ron Scheider, and Robert Shaw, because it's all three actors just chilling on the fucking boat set because the shark keeps breaking. And this whole script is based on kind of anecdotes and other, thematic elements, stuff like that, just drawn out from the grueling and tedious film process that was in this. But one of the quotes that I think it is Shaw, like Robert Shaw, says, because that one of the questions they're all asking themselves during the making of this movie is this gonna be good? Like
Yeah.
the production track record of this is looking like hot garbage. I don't even know if this is gonna be a good movie. Like, maybe we make some money off of this, great, but like, this isn't gonna be like a career defining role, ha ha ha. But one of the things quoted in here, so I don't know, where it comes from, whether this is from Spielberg, whether this is from Robert Shaw or somebody else, but it's like, you can make a great movie out of a good book, but a mediocre movie out of a great book, because then you're competing against that standard. And realizing in the years of watching Spielberg movies, how many of his movies were books beforehand. I'm like,
most of them.
Steven, you sly motherfucker. I applaud that.
No, I'm down for that, because do you know how many nerds I've dealt with who just go, the book is better, in that exact voice?
Who's going to tell you the book of Jaws is better than the movie?
The books are always better than movies. Tell that to Steven Spielberg, motherfucker.
Right.
Which I have a thing to tack on with the tropes conversation, though, as a question, because I think there's a lot in this movie that's like, hey, it's ambiguous of like, did this like start this thing? Did this borrow it from something else? This part wasn't planned, but then it got put into the movie and now everybody does it. But one of the things that has kind of become associated with Jaws is the shark breaking. Like, that in itself has become a trope, it feels like.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so curious of, like, I don't know, do you think that's something that's become such a big part of the mythos of this movie now? Like, there's a new documentary about it that just came out for like the 50th anniversary, and like, so much of it revolves around that goddamn shark. I'm curious if y'all think that's now become part of that kind of canon of like, that wasn't prevalent when the movie came out, and in the 50 years it's really existed in film canon, but like in the last decade or so, everybody has become fixated on this fact.
Yeah. It's definitely the thing. It's the one piece of trivia that everybody's going to tell you about this movie specifically, right? It's like, oh, did you know the shark didn't work? It's like, yes.
That's why the movie's good, because it's barely in it.
Right. We had to get creative.
Because you can miss it.
Yeah. I don't know if trope is the right word. But you're also way more aware of like meta media than I am. Like pieces about script writers or actors backstage and stuff, which sounds like a thing they would constantly be like, aha, and now the stage lights don't work, or oh, there's drama backstage, right? So I could definitely see that being a thing.
No, and it's not like, I don't know, I not knowing entirely in like film or other kind of circles like that, because theater kids will all be like, oh, this thing, this cheeky joke, this cheeky little like, this wasn't supposed to happen thing, but now we're gonna carry this with us forever.
You can't say Macbeth in the theater! And it's like, okay, guys. We get it.
Like, even the Shark is Broken script has a lot of inside jokes about like, hey, Robert Shaw was very good friends with Harold Pinter, and Richard Dreyfuss is like pestering this man about like, hey, kid, like, I'd love to do Shakespeare. I'd love to work with Pinter, and Robert is like, oh, you stupid idiot. You're gonna get eaten alive.
Yeah. That's interesting, man. I don't know, man. Jaws is fucking cool. It's like, what else is there to say?
I haven't had a chance to throw this fun fact in here, but you know,
is it that the shark was broken?
The shark was broken, and my dad was supposed to be in the movie.
What?
Oh.
So, 1974? Like the summer before, when they were actually shooting the darn thing. My dad and some of his buddies were out at the beach at Martha's Vineyard, and they got approached by these dudes that were with the film crew, like kind of to the whole crowd shot, kind of space. They were like, hey folks, we're going to be filming a movie here, and we need crowd at the beach.
Yeah.
If you want to be a part of that, like, stick around. Otherwise, please clear the space. Thank you. So my dad is like a teenager, and his buddies are all like, oh, "Yeah, we just get to run around and scream, cool." I don't know how long he said that they waited, but that damn shark wasn't working.
Oh my
And they
God.
said, "Never mind, enjoy the rest of your afternoon."
That's funny.
He missed
But
his
apparently-
star-making performance.
I know. Well, my dad was like, I'll do plays every so on. He played Dee Dee in Waiting for Godot in middle
cool.
school. I don't know, but like,
A little less cool, but still cool.
was that like, oh, okay, oh, this didn't happen. But apparently, on the days that it did work, and they pulled people in the crowd to do again. This was like all shot near the Cape, like in Cape Cod,
Yeah.
where he grew up. Martha's Vineyard was the beach that they primarily used for a lot of the crowd stuff. Some people got paid like $60 a day, basically, to go run around and scream.
That's 1970s money. That's not bad.
Right. Or at least, again, it's like, this is an article that came out a couple years ago talking about that. So I'm like, I don't know if that was everybody, but in one of those shots from that 4th of July panic scene, there's the woman holding her child while they're standing in the water. And she's just like screaming in such a way where I'm just like, you go off, diva. You go. You be so terrified. Yes.
Fair enough. Hell yeah. Shout outs to Kaylee's dad. He's a nice dude. And shout outs to you for listening to the Liberal Artist Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Give us the good reviews, the 5 stars, call to action, whatever I'm supposed to say as an internet person. Join us next time when we write another book about sharks. It's all gonna be lies.
This is everything I wanted.
Yeah.
Jaws-nado the hybrid.
This is why I've edited 94 episodes of this shit.
Yeah.
Peace.
The Liberal Artists Podcast premieres every other Thursday on your favorite podcasting platform. The show is hosted by Bodio, Kaylie Horowitz, and Andy Gibson. You can find the show at Liberal Artists Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks to White Hot for performing the theme song Reflect, which can be found on freebeats.io. Now, I'm off to go exploring, and maybe, just maybe, I'll find a sheep that I can call my own. Good day.
Do you think there's been a crossover between Godzilla and Bruce the Shark?
No,
I think-
Kaylee, I don't.
I think they're friends. I don't think...
Because I think they're both like different sides, different country allegory representatives of the aftermath of the atomic bomb. I think they should be friends.
Are we talking Bruce the Shark from
No,
Finding
Bruce the
Nemo?
Shark. That's his name in Jaws. His name is
Yeah,
Bruce.
yeah. and the Finding Nemo one is named
And that's
after.
a nod, yeah.
Look at us with our trivia. Fucking hell.
But no, I'm talking, give me the Godzilla, Kaiju, and Jaws Bruce crossover.
Jaws is he's only like 20 feet long.
Also, like, what are they going to do when Godzilla goes to land?
Flop around.
Pick him
and-
up.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking
He lifts
of...
him up, puts him in his fanny pack. Just like, let's go.
just a water-filled fanny pack.
This is our excuse to do like a Godzilla water adventure then. They go to find Atlantis.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shit, the Alex Kittner sandwich story.
The sandwich!
Too late now. The shark ate me.